You are listening live from the wasteland to Triple R 101.5.
Welcome, I'm DJ Draco, and on today's episode, I have a game-changing idea for Fallout 76. Now, I'm just getting started as a Fallout content creator, so chances are Bethesda will never hear this. So if you like my super idea, then share this video, and let's see if we can't change the game. And if you like what you hear, subscribe, hit the bell. So to keep this in the 10-minute broadcasting time, I'm going to go over 2 ways for them to introduce, wait for it, super mutants. And I mean the playable kind. Now this is the difficult one, being my stance on how they introduce ghouls as playable. But I do have 2 ideas. 1, multiplayer. 2, lock it behind a level and quest line possibly. But let's start with the multiplayer idea. Now they could easily do a new instance that is just a multiplayer map. It could be a smaller map, it could be the big map, it could be either way, and have it be survivors versus super mutants. Be difficult to balance sides because, like, obviously everybody's gonna want to play as super mutant first, like, and then eventually, if super mutants aren't that good, they'd be like, oh, I'm gonna play survivors because I want to be on that team. Another way to do it though is they can go more of like a almost zombies route, and in that instance, they can do it's kind of like a battle royale, and when you get eliminated, you become a super mutant, and you're trying to hunt the remaining survivors and whatnot. And like, it could still be points based rather than being the last survivor. But that would also indicate they would have to do a new instance or server, basically, like how they had nuclear winter and all these different servers that you could hop into. The other way to do this is also to have it just be a level unlock, just similar to that of the ghouls. But instead of unlocking at level 50, maybe I'll unlock at level 100 or even 1000, so just to give more emphasis on wanting you to play the game, experience the game, get through, have a quest line maybe that you end up taking the Fev virus and, becoming a super mutant. And there's many ways they could do that, and I think it all should tie back in to West Tech. Like, it should go, you should go there, and it's already part of the storyline of Fallout 76 that the super mutants of Appalachia are coming from West Tech. And we got a perfect location for it. It all would totally make sense. Alright, let's talk pros and cons of being a super mutant. So pros or bonuses, I would say, would be like to your stats, would be increased strength, increased endurance, rad resistance, environmental resistance, and disease resistance should all be boosted by becoming a super mutant. Now, I don't know what other boosts they could do other than maybe have some special perk cards to make you a little more specialized. But other than that, like, I don't know what they would look like right now. It'd be very difficult. Probably would be based around past super mutant characters that could be companions. Yeah. But what about their cons? What's some cons to becoming a super mutant? And I can think of some pretty big things, like I don't want a super mutant to be able to do. 1, no power armor. Nope, sorry, you're too big. Like, there's a general size of what could fit into power armor, and if you generally look, there's a reason why most of our characters are pretty much the same height. So kind of not quite. There's no big difference in build. Okay, you can make your guy skinnier, you can make him, a bit bigger, but you can't like actually make them big type thing. So, and reason being is because then they'd have to adjust power armor, and that's just going to be too difficult for them. So no power armor. Also, probably limited to possibly even having to have special armor for super mutants, because once again the size variation is just going to be a little difficult for the code wise. Now, stats, I think that the intelligence and their charisma should both be lower. Other than that, I really don't think the stats, they should lose much on stats. Nah, they could be just as lucky, could be just as quick. They are, they're super mutants after all. Now, here is the biggest one that I imagine a lot of players would hate. I don't think super mutants should get VATs. No VATs. Meaning perk cards that increase VATs would have to change for super mutants. Like they'd have to be something different. But that could go along with my next thing. I think they should be less accurate with ranged weapons. So those VATs perk cards instead for super mutants could be stuff to just increase their accuracy. Both hipfire and aimed, I think both should be less, and they can use perk cards to boost those, right? Now, even though I said all this, I don't think super mutants are going to be added to Fallout 76. Reason being is ghouls have to disguise to interact with factions such as raiders and settlers. While it would be funny to see a super mutant trying to disguise itself to fit in, the memes right there alone, it just doesn't make sense. Now, the coding and the writing required also to make it, once again, make sense to become a super mutant would take possibly years of work to actually get right. Because we play Fallout, at least I play Fallout, it's one of my favorite franchises, because the storytelling is great. Not a great world. By no means would I want to live in Fallout. But the story is great. The openness is great. I want that to be great too. There you have it. Let me know in the comments if you would love to be a super mutant in the Wasteland, or even some ideas you have for Fallout 76. And remember to keep a mutated ear or eye out for my next broadcast. Now let's get our subscription count up, with our current goal being 100. Till then, this is DJ Draco, and you have listened to Radioactive Retro Radio 101.5.